Hello and a very good afternoon to you. Welcome to the Stoop, home of Harlequins and of course the adopted home of England women. And they play their second Six Nations match this afternoon, their first at home against visitors Italy. Both sides go into this one looking for their first win in the competition. England going down to Wales in Swansea last Sunday by 13 points to 0, and Italy also getting a loss to Ireland by 30 points to 5. So we should be in for a cracking afternoon's rugby. Of course you can watch on englandrugby.com, and the live stream is also on YouTube. We're also going interactive, so you can keep in touch with us via the hashtag #EnglandWomenLive. Of course, England with a blend of youth and experience. They've had a few changes. They've also got interim coach Nicola Ponsford in charge, and as the teams arrived just a few minutes ago, I caught up with her to see how she's feeling ahead of kick-off. Well, Nikki, thanks for joining us. In charge of your second game as interim head coach of England. Your former role head of performance, of course. So what's it been like getting back into the tracksuit? And maybe for those less familiar with yourself, just tell us a bit more about your coaching background.
I had a history once I retired as a player, as a coach. I coached Wasps to the League and Cup double. So I coached Wasps for a couple of seasons. I've got a level 3, so some coaching background. But actually, in my role as head coach, I spent a lot of time with, or interim head of performance. Sorry, I spent a lot of time with the coaches, working on tactics, strategy, what they're doing, what they're delivering, how we're delivering the messages. So I'm really familiar with the structure of the weekends, how we want to run, what sort of messages we want to put across. In terms of how much I'm enjoying it, it's been great. Really enjoyed getting in touch with the players, actually spending some time with them, because previously, you know, that's the coach's role, so that's not something I do on a weekly basis. So having that opportunity to spend some time with the players, identify with them their concerns, issues, what they want to be working on, has been great, really good.
Disappointing loss to Wales last week, so going into this one, 7 changes. Katie McLean back at fly half. What are you expecting from the side this week, and what will Katie bring? I
think from last week it was a relatively, I suppose you could say, solid start for 7 new caps. But this year, this game, I think we'll have a lot more sort of strength. We'll have a lot more experience in a number of positions. Katie will bring us that level of experience. The focus will enable us, I think, to play the game plan that we want to play, and give everybody else, I think, a little bit of confidence around her that she's able to control that game. And I think that position is pivotal for us at fly half.
We saw a big result on Friday night with France beating Ireland in the Championship. Given the new faces in the team, the changes in the coaching staff, what are your expectations for England in this Championship?
I mean, we're setting out to do as well as we possibly can in this Championship. As I say, the result last week wasn't what we wanted, but we know it was a starting point. And this week we expect to really step on, move forward, use the changes that we've made. I think will give us a stronger performance, and that's the next step. And then the week after we'll build again, and we'll build again, and we'll build again. And I think we've got a really good chance of being in the mix right at the end of the Championship.
Most open one yet?
Definitely. And I think everybody's in the same boat as we are. You know, everybody's thinking they're going to be in the mix at the end. So, you know, I'm fairly confident that we are going to be in that mix and really pushing France for that final result.
Great stuff. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Well, now we're joined by the Italy head coach and translating for us, Valentina. Thank you both for joining us. Andrea, how are you and how has training been this week?
Buongiorno, bene, ci siamo preparati bene per questa partita, sappiamo che sarà una partita molto impegnativa, quindi siamo concentrati per questo match.
So training did very well this week. We know that beating England or playing against England is one of the most difficult games, so we are ready for it and we train, fantastically well this week.
You won 2 games in the competition last year. Are you hoping to improve on that in this year's Championship?
Ok, noi cerchiamo ovviamente anno dopo anno di migliorare i nostri risultati, ovviamente cerchiamo intanto di confermare quanto di buono fatto e ogni partita cerchiamo di migliorare.
So yeah, our aim for this year is of course win other 2 games, but we are anyway every year looking for the new win. So this is what we are here for today.
There are many players out there that those people watching will be familiar with from the England side. Perhaps those of us who are less familiar with the Italy side, who can you suggest that we should be looking out for this afternoon?
Allora, c'è il capitano, number 8, Silvia Gaudino, che è comunque una presenza costante nel torneo, fullback Manuela Furlan, e poi abbiamo giovani ragazze molto talentuose, da Melissa Bettoni in prima linea, Michela Sillari nei tre quarti, Beatrice Rigoni che oggi giocherà number 10.
Okay, I try to remember all the names. So first of all, the captain Silvia Gaudino, number 8. She's our rock solid person in the squad. Manuela Furlan, our fullback. She actually been, if I remember well, our man of the match against England last year. Melissa Bettoni from the front row. She's very solid and will secure the scrum for sure. Michela Sillari and Beatrice Rigoni is a new entry.
No, but very young player.
Which role, Beatrice?
Fly half today.
Fly half. Okay. Yeah. So
Andrea now doing the translating back.
Okay.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. One final question. With the changes for England, with the different coaching setup, do you feel that this is an opportunity to perhaps get a rare victory against them?
So, con tutti i cambiamenti, l'Inghilterra è una squadra in cambiamento, in transizione, anche l'allenatore è cambiato. Credi che oggi potete farcela?
Allora, il cambiamento anche dalla nostra parte c'è stato, l'Inghilterra ha un movimento tale da permettere, nonostante il cambiamento, di mantenere un livello molto alto. Credo che sia stato un episodio la passata settimana, sappiamo che per noi è sempre un match molto impegnativo, ma è quello che ci piace giocare perché ci aiuta a crescere.
Yeah, so in the Italian squad also we had some changes, especially not on the coaching side but on the team players. We know that coming here and playing against England is one of the most difficult matches, and the episodes from last week, the defeat against Wales, is probably an isolated case, and but of course we are here, and we hope to try make history today.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
So those are the thoughts of both coaches then as we edge a little nearer to kick-off. It just remains for me to make one final introduction, and that is to the machine alongside me. 74 caps for England. She's played in a few Six Nations and won the majority of them. Add to that, Premiership champion with Saracens. Delighted to say that joining us in co-commentary for this afternoon's match is Maggie Alfonsi. Good afternoon, Max. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm very well. It's great to be here. Very strange to be on a mic and not actually on the pitch, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to what's going to be a fantastic afternoon.
Yeah, the feet twitching a little bit knowing that your teammates are in that changing room getting ready.
Yeah, very strange. Like right now I do want to put my boots on and have a little run out, but yeah, I'm quite happy actually now just sitting on the back and just watching.
Yes, it's going to be fascinating. England with a few changes on and off the pitch, as we've mentioned. Retirements from players such as yourself, Kat Merchant, Becky Essex, Sophie Hemming, to name a few. Nicola Ponsford now in charge after Gary Street's departure. What will that have done to the side? I
think it's, obviously it's quite a new change, having so many players retire after what had been an amazing World Cup. But the reality is, as a team, you have to develop, you have to get better and improve. And I think, after the last weekend, the loss, which was an unfortunate loss, but the girls will pull together and obviously want to bring it back against Italy.
Well, yes, we certainly expect and hope that England will be back to winning ways. We can just have a little look here at the coin toss that took place. Tamara Taylor, of course, in charge for her second international. Spoke to her during the week. She really wanted to get this ratio back to 50-50 following the loss to Wales last week.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So we can have a look at the results following the coin toss there. I think Italy coming out the victors there. We'll see the teams take their places on the field very shortly. But round one there, that was the loss to Italy. 30 points to 5. Ireland doing well there. France 42-0 winners over Scotland in round one, and Wales. There's that result in Swansea, 13 points to 0. Then in round two so far, Friday night, big result for France, that one in Ireland, winning that one by 10 points to 5. Of course, France, who really enjoyed that home World Cup in 2014 2014. Scotland going down to Wales at 39 points to 3, so Wales having a really good start so far. And of course, rounding off round 2 is this match, England against Italy. Let's see then how that makes the women's Six Nations table look. Wales on top then, looking pretty good for it. 2 wins out of 2, 4 points. France up there as well. England would like to get their first win on the board this afternoon to join Ireland on 2 points. Italy and Scotland yet to score. But as I said in the introduction, both of these teams have yet to get a victory in the tournament so far this year. They will be looking to do that this afternoon. So Maggie, the stage is set, the crowd are in. We're looking forward to what should be a good game. What sort of style of play do you think England will be able to come up with, given the blend of youth and experience?
I think the big priority is going to be around the forwards. So the aim is going to be around trying to carry that ball up, gain ground, get over the gain line, and just actually try to bring it to the Italians and really put them under pressure. I think with the backs, the priority is going to be really trying to create space and preserve it and really attack it. What we can't do is let Italy come to us. Last time we played Italy, out in Italy, Italy were a huge challenge. They really did put us under pressure. So what we can't do is let them get into the game. If we can start off really well in the first 20 minutes, I think England will be absolutely fine.
Well, those are the thoughts of Maggie Alfonsi. My name's Nick Keith, and I think we can now start to have a look at the teams. England then making 7 changes from their loss to Wales a week ago. Into the side comes World Cup winning skipper Katie McLean, playing at fly half alongside Worcester scrum half Bianca Blackburn, who makes her first start. Latoya Mason ruled out through injury. Abby Scott's also a first start alongside captain Tamara Taylor, and in the front row Vicky Fleetwood's in for Emma Croker, also injured. Miller Mills into number 8 with Matthews moving to blindside. 4 of the starting 15 earning just their second cap this afternoon. Rocky Clark at prop, earning her 97th. For Italy, it's 5 changes to the starting 15 from their loss at home to Ireland. All of the players coming into the side were on the bench last week. Magatti, Zangiolami and Rigoni, the changes in the backs. And up front, Michela Este slots into the back row while Koulibaly starts. But Tony moving from prop last week to hooker this week. And then we can just have a look at the benches for both sides. On the bench for England, they will be hoping to bring on Amy Cockayne, a huge talent at just 18 years of age, who might earn her first cap this afternoon. She's got quite a story that I'm sure we will tell you about. Fiona Davidson and Sarah McKenna also called up to make up the 23. And for Italy, the experienced Veronica Schiavone is on the bench after starting last week. Irene Campanini hoping to add a second cap to just the one she has so far in international rugby. Our referee this afternoon is Alhambra Nieves, and the officials will be coming out alongside the teams. There they are, just waiting in the tunnel, the assistants Sarah Cox and Nikki O'Donnell. That's how the tunnel's looking at the moment, the calm before the storm. And how will the players be feeling at this point, Maggie? Just going through a few last-minute pep talks?
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow will probably be bringing them all in, really building them up and actually getting them to think, right, don't think about the environment, think about what you need to do today. How are you going to play? How are you going to really bring it to Italy? And I think right now, I imagine there's going to be a lot of excitement. Playing at home in your own ground, I imagine the girls will be really excited to get out there and really show what they can do. Yes,
absolutely. And don't forget, you can keep in touch with us this afternoon on #EnglandWomenLive. Myself and Maggie keeping an eye on any of you wanting to keep in touch and tell us what you think of the game as it goes on this afternoon. Already had Holly Marie Snowling in charge saying, come on, England ladies. I'm sure there are plenty of you out there watching this stream on englandrugby.com and on YouTube who are hoping for a similar result. We have the Guard of Honour down just below us as we await the 2 teams coming out. Decent crowd in here at the Stoop. Atmosphere building here ahead of kick-off. And of course, Maggie, it's worth touching on the fact that because of the way that World Rugby have recalibrated the World Cup cycle in order so that the 15s and the 7s games don't overlap, that we now actually have a World Cup in just 2.5 years' time, which seems ridiculously fast given the fact that England have only just walked away with the trophy from the last one. But that puts a little different spin on how quickly the development of this new side is going to have to come together, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, obviously having 4 years cycle in between is always quite key to allow players to develop, but to have a shorter one is always quite a challenge. But I know the England girls will also use the opportunity to get better and develop some new players. Well,
there we are. We have the Italians coming out onto the field. A warm round of applause from those watching here. And now led by Tamara Taylor, earning her 79th cap. She is delighted to lead out the side. Correct myself there. Tamara Taylor earning her 80th cap. She's got a little milestone there. And now, before the game gets underway, we'll hand over for the national anthems. Well, England will have some happy memories of their time here at the Stoop. Of course, there was the painful World Cup final loss in 2010, but other than that, it's a place that they like to go hunting. And this afternoon, led by Tamara Taylor, they will have the Italians in their sights as this side look to try and get onto winning ways and to get back into the groove. As we mentioned, 2.5 years until that next World Cup. They have a title to defend there. And Maggie Alfonsi, the process really does start now.
Yeah, it really does. You know, Six Nations is key for us because it allows us the opportunity to really expose those younger players to get better. And like I said, 2.5 years, I know it doesn't seem very long, but it's a great opportunity to really get those players out there. And, you know, when else can you do it other than Six Nations? And unfortunately, yes, they lost against Wales, but I think these next few games are going to be really key and really important.
Yes, that loss against Wales. England perhaps getting caught a little bit too narrow. They've got the real flyers, the likes of Ruth Laybourne, Sydney Gregson. They're going to want to get the ball into their hands so that they can try and expose the Italian defence. Abby Brown, of course, into that centre alongside Kerry Large. Kerry Large, who played fly half last week, but just moves out to accommodate Katie McLean, returning from the Sevens down in Brazil. England Sevens were plate winners down there. So McLean gets ready to get things underway this afternoon here at the Stoop. You're watching EnglandRugby.com's live stream of the Six Nations. And England women kicking off from left to right in the white to Italy. And the ball is taken in. Little chance of a kick back. It's almost gone across more than it's gone forward. Laybourne comes forward to try and gather it. The follow-up was from Silari, suggesting that it might have been knocked on there. Referee, I think, playing a bit of advantage. Ball is up for Taylor. She's going to crash that one in, and it's a decent tackle from the Italian skipper Gaudino. England come away again. Blackburn gets in there, and she's got good service. Bianca Blackburn gets it away to McLean. Italian defensive line coming up. That was something that Wales did very well last week. Their line speed defensively, putting an awful lot of pressure on England. Little chip forward, not gone terribly far. A little bit of impeding from Giordano. And the ball comes back on the Italian side. Baratin gets it away. Referee though, well, it's penalty England. Holding in on the floor, Baratin. She's the woman pinged by our referee, and it'll be a chance for Katie McLean to take play down the touchline.
I think at the moment now what we can see is that Italy are putting a lot of defence. You know, their defence is really solid and they're really putting pressure on England. I think the key for England now is just being really patient. It will come, you know, use the forwards, build it up, build the phases, get down the pitch, and then Katie, like she's done there, you know, kick the ball into touch and allows her to get a good line out, and hopefully they get into their 22.
Vicky Fleetwood earning her 46th cap this afternoon. Fellow teammate of Maggie Alfonsi, Premiership winners this season. Ball is at the back. Laura Keats. A little bit of momentum on that maul, up to the 22. Taylor breaks off, but Blackburn decides that we're going to try and come wide, using Hannah Gallagher there through the middle, just to try and crash it up, splitting the two centres. They come left again. McLean, little ball inside for Keats. It was a really strong tackle from Severin. And in fact, Italy have come away with it. Ball downfield. They haven't really got anyone back there yet. And Kay Wilson is going to scurry back in her full-back role. Little dummy, and then Kay Wilson puts foot to the floor. And she's really quick when she gets going, Wilson. She's powerful as well. Decent run by her. Maria Magatti with the tackle. Blackburn, England with good front foot ball. Keats. Blackburn again, they've just got three to the right this time, so Kerry Large, well, that's good heads-up rugby from Large. Knew that there wasn't an awful lot on, so took it up herself. Blackburn, McLean, little short ball run is from Matthews. So strong, Alex Matthews. Blackburn, on to Rocky Clark, good hands from her, out to Gallagher. Ripped away in the tackle from Michaela Silari, but England had the penalty coming. Not rolling away is the decision from the referee, and this could be an early chance of 3 points for Katie McLean.
What England are doing so well at the moment is they're keeping the ball alive. I think what you're seeing here is, well, they're not just being patient, but they're just being really quick. And if we can keep being quick and allowing the Italians to not get on the back foot, then England will always get over the gain line. I think, like we saw here, what Kate does really well is that she really does put Kate, all the other players right on the front foot, and that's what we want to try and see. And like we saw, Kay Wilson made a fantastic break down the line, and if we can get her in play, we'll hopefully get more opportunities to get further up the field.
Well, it was wonderful work from Wilson to turn what was very much defensive ball into attack. Ran that back a good 30 metres. And then England's continual recycling have presented this opportunity for McLean. Back into the side and a chance to get 3 points on the board. Looks absolutely fine from here. The flags are raised and England are on the board. No problem from Katie McLean, of course. With Emily Scarrett in that World Cup side, Maggie, Katie McLean was perhaps out of a little bit of practice with the boot at international level.
Yeah, during that World Cup period, I guess Emily became our main kicker here, and Katie didn't kick so much, so it's great to see Katie back in the fold, doing the kicking.
So England leading 3 points to nil then. They'll be pleased to have got that lead inside the first 5 minutes of the match. Blackburn out for Fleetwood. Little ball inside for Taylor. Or sorry, it was Matthews on that occasion. Blackburn onto Rocky Clark. Now it is Taylor. Blackburn. Little thought of a dart right there from McLean, but in fact it's opened up left for Harry Miller-Mills, and she looks over the top, and it's an excellent ball to Abby Brown. Brown just over the 10-metre line. Good vision from England. They thought about the short side through McLean, but in fact when it went to the open side, it was on. Miller-Mills making some key ground. Abby Brown has taken a bit of a knock there, just limping back into the back line out of your picture. Good carry from Rochelle Clark. Blackburn looks left, goes right to McLean. Large has a big Tamara Taylor crashing it up, but I think that ball has just gone forward in the pass. And well, Abby Brown just going down there next to Kay Wilson. And they'll hope that this isn't anything too serious. She was nervous ahead of that first cap last week. Let's just have another little look at England coming wide. That's the forward pass. Referee in a good line to spot that one. And we will have an Italian scrum. But we've got two players just down getting some attention. Alice Trevisan on the far side for Italy, and Abby Brown just doing some work with the England medical and physio teams to see whether there's anything too serious there or just a bit of a knock. She's seems to be okay, I think. Decent nerve settler to get that first penalty, Maggie.
Yeah, I think for Katie, like I said, because she hasn't been doing much of the kicking, it's great to see her take that kick and actually be successful. I think now it will just build her confidence, and any opportunity she gets, I imagine she'll want to take it, just to, like I said, ease the nerves.
Two packs come together then. Decent amount of experience in each of them. Over 40 caps for the likes of Gaudino, Este, Severin, Cucchiella. And for England, Clark, Fleetwood, Keats, and then Taylor, but a little inexperienced. Tamara Taylor's second row colleague, Abby Scott, just earning her second cap this afternoon. Italy have possession. Big tackle there from Alex Matthews. And here's the clearance down to the right. They might find touch. They do. Oh, it's gone straight out. And they were outside the 22, and Rigoni won't want to watch that one again. She had a bit more time there from the ball from Baratin. Might be a little bit disappointed with herself there, but England will relish this opportunity. Throw into the line out just inside Italian territory. Oh, they go to the back. It didn't quite find Taylor, but it did get over the top to, I think, Gallagher. Blackburn feeding in the pot of forwards short. Then it's Miller-Mills in the red scrum cap. Alex Matthews running that inside line. They're obviously looking to try and expose any lazy Italian drifting defence by doing that. Abby Brown cuts back inside. Goes to ground. Blackburn's there, but in fact, it's a penalty against Brown. Holding on to the ball. Italians getting there in decent number to try and get that one away, and as England held on, they gave away the penalty. Chance for Rigoni to clear the lines. There's our crowd this afternoon. Over 2,000 people flooding into the Stoop. And the sunshine has come out for them as well. Lovely winter's afternoon for some running rugby. Melissa Bertoni, 22nd cap today. Little dummy from the front, and then it's going, well, to the skipper. It ended up going over the top, and I think the one to profit from it was Rochelle Clark. And Blackburn's able to come left through Miller-Mills and then on to Wilson. England still with it. Blackburn, she's being really hassled in there. Referee's happy for play to go on. Rocky Clark is just at the back. She calls over Laura Keats to help set that up. Katie McLean's also got involved just to help secure it. So England's backline, it'll come to Tamara Taylor first of all, just over the 22. Still there, good quick ball for Blackburn. Kerry Large played fly half last week, no problems being first receiver there, but that kick was well marshalled by Michaela Solari, and the player from Colorno easily able to take the mark. And Italy will have the free kick here. Looks like it's going to be a little tap and pass to Rigoni, and she gets a touch finder up towards the 10-metre line. So Italy's exit strategy, they're doing what they needed it to do. Burnout's in from Fleetwood. Good take from Taylor, down for Blackburn. On to McLean. Crash ball for Kerry Large. They've used Amber Reid in that sort of role previously, England, and Kerry Large happy to step in and do it. There's Wilson, stepping back in off the left foot. 10 minutes gone, England leading 3 points to 0. Blackburn. McLean, Large, onto Brown. Oh, she just got out of the challenge, but she was stumbling and got to ground. Blackburn has got two options. She looks to go herself. That's a good little run from Blackburn. It's just been knocked forward, though, but I think it was a player that was retiring from an offside position. That's the signal from the referee. So it will be another chance of a penalty, and Katie McLean wastes no time in telling referee Nievas that she'd like another chance for 3 points. Good little bit of awareness and dart from Bianca Blackburn.
Yeah, definitely. I think with Bianca, she's got that level of, you know, keeps her heads up and really does go for every opportunity she sees. And I think in terms of trying to get over the gain line, that's going to be quite key. If we can try and snipe around the breakdown, I think it'll definitely keep the Italian forwards honest.
So Katie McLean, one penalty to her name so far. Plays for the same club, of course, as Tamara Taylor at Darlington Moden Park Sharks. 5 of their number in the squad this afternoon. McLean, oh, she's not caught that one. That one's been hooked. Not the cleanest of connections, so opportunity goes begging to add more points, but England doing well to continue their foray into Italian territory so far in the opening exchanges in this first half. Rigoni ensures that her players are behind her, but sticks the ball a little longer. Alex Matthews just caught in two minds a little there whether to come forward for that, but it's no matter. England will have the line out. Alex Matthews, you played alongside her, Maggie. It's a real talent.
Oh, you know, for such a young player, she has so much talent, and I truly believe she'll go very far, you know, not just in the 15s game, but also the 7s.
She's fabulously shy off the pitch, but she really delivers on it, doesn't she?
She's shy, but I tell you now, with the way she plays, she's physical, she's strong, and she can make some big hits as well.
So England getting the chance of a little quick tap there. McLean's gone. Not afraid to take it into contact herself. England have it there. It's there for Blackburn. McLean. Good run from Rocky Clark. Bowling a few Italian shirts out of the way on that occasion. England come again. McLean just ran at Rigoni. Just had to come back inside, but England have managed to continue to rumble forwards. Italy win it on the floor, but I'm not sure you're allowed to put your hands in there if you're off your feet. And that's the decision. England go quickly. Incredibly short, just a couple of metres out. Not 10 is the signal. Bianca Blackburn taps and goes again. England putting a real pace on it. Kerry Large, it nearly opened up for her under the posts there. Blackburn, McLean, they've got numbers to the right if they could use it. Abby Brown just runs back in. Koulibaly with the tackle. Blackburn, McLean, Fleetwood. thought she spotted an opportunity. Really good tackle from Manuela Furlan, player of the match. As Andrea Giandomenico was saying in the interview a couple of years ago, from an Italian perspective. England keen to keep the tempo up there, Maggie, but was there perhaps a little bit too much keenness? Should they have been a little bit more organised with those penalties?
Yeah, definitely, especially in 22. We call it almost like the red zone. That's where you probably want to be more calm, collect. And yes, you know, you're 5 metres out, but ideally where you want is a scrum. You know, we've got some fantastic props, you know, fantastic forwards. That's where we really want to capitalise.
So Italian scrum then. 28-year-old Sara Baratin gets that in. It's a real contest in there. In fact, it comes out for Italy. Rigoni, sorry. Gets a decent touch find. Italy struggling to get out of their own half so far in the match. England keeping the pressure up. Lineouts won by Taylor, Blackburn, McLean, Large, Abby Brown, Kay Wilson on the dummy run, and they get it out to the left-hand side, and Sydney Gregson wants to get the feet moving. Just goes out on the far side. But a bit more promise seeing the ball get down the line and to the wingers. Didn't see enough of that against Wales last week.
No, we didn't. I think what we're hoping to see today is actually a bit more, I guess, you know, set-piece play, which is going to be successful first. But I think the priority is making sure it gets out to the backs and they just relax. And obviously we're seeing Abby doing really well. She's been a huge threat in the backs. And obviously if we can get the ball out to Sydney, I think she's got a lot of pace and will really definitely get over the gain line.
Yes, Sydney Gregson, Hartbury girl. Experienced at sevens as well, so she knows how to run at a gap, that's for sure. Ball kicked downfield towards her there, but decent one into touch. Italy getting closer to getting out of their own half at this stage. Gregson combines lots with Abby Brown at club level. Two of them playing for Bristol. Alex Matthews, that's a good bust. Getting through the middle. Comes to the right, Blackburn, McLean puts boot to ball. Just goes wide, and that's a decent kick from McLean. Wasn't quite sure whether she was really plumbing for the corner or just wanting it to be a little flatter to allow the wingers an opportunity to get onto it, but the bounce was inch perfect just before the touchline.
What was great to see, though, is seeing Alex. I mean, obviously, you know how strong she is, and here she cuts a great line and really gets over that gain line. I think she's going to be a real handle to, you know, try and cope with in terms of the Italian defence. They've got to really try and stop her.
Yeah, she's almost like a third centre in that sort of role, isn't she?
That's an old position, but yeah, she's got a lot of pace and a lot of strength.
Good Italian line-out. They won't mind England kicking into their territory if their set-piece works as effectively as that. They're getting a real march on from it as well. They'll be pleased with that. Rigoni, oh, little juggle from Zangirolammi. It's away from Baratin. Kick from Furlan. Up for Kay Wilson. On the halfway line. Works out which way she's going to go. She's being hunted down by the blue shirts. She does well on the leg drive. Takes England up to the 10-metre line. There's no scrum half. Abby Brown's going to have to go in and play that role. I think she's just knocked it on at the base. She won't have enjoyed that moment too much. Well, Wilson did well. Well, the Italians will have the scrum on that 10-metre line. Don't forget, you can keep in touch with us on #EnglandWomenLive. A couple of messages coming in from the likes of Hope Fawcett, Eloise Bloomfield, Marianne Gittings. Great to have you all with us. There is the hashtag. Keep in touch, let us know your thoughts, let us know where you're watching as well, it would be great to know. Rigoni, ball out wide left. Cut in field from Silari. But there was a forward pass in there. Our commentary position just left of the halfway line, so we're not quite in line to have seen that. But our referee right on the spot. Of course, that was the site of England's victory yesterday, putting 47 points on the Italians. Stuart Lancaster's men, maybe a few question marks defensively, which I'm sure they will be addressing. Players certainly not feeling like it was a job without error. Can England women follow suit with a victory in the shadow of Twickenham Stadium here at the Stoop this afternoon? They've got the lead. McLean. Taylor takes a couple to stop her. Rochelle Clark goes in to just secure the ball. It's away from Blackburn. Goes digging again. Really good quick service from Blackburn. Gallagher steps in and around the challenge of the Italian props, Cucchiella and Koulibaly. It's away for Kerry Large. Not the tidiest ball, but she does well to pick up and step around the first tackle. Michaela Este making a nuisance of herself, trying to get in there, but it's just been thrown forward in the tackle by Clark, and knock-on advantage will be played to Italy. Barrettin kicks it away. Advantage is over. McLean throws in field to Wilson. Have the Italians handed over some dangerous possession for England? Good support play from Wilson on the shoulder of Gregson. Brown is there. Oh, and Bianca Blackburn knew there was an Italian player in her face in the form of Manuela Furlan, and she just knocked it on. Just took her eye off the ball. Kick downfield. Oh, it's a good tackle, good follow-up from the Italians. And they're putting some real pressure on the English back three with those kicks. Clark over the 10-metre in England's half. McLean, little chip over the top, meant to be for the midfield. One of the centres could gather it, but Italy do well. Sarah Barrettin quite happy to secure it. They've got 4 on 3 if they can use it here. They'll need to straighten. Possible hint of a knock-on in that tackle, but I don't think it was spotted. The pass wild has got Andrea Di Giomen. I'm going to say that name right once this afternoon. Giandomenico, there we go. He's careering down the stands just to the right of us in our commentary position. I think he was screaming to try and let his players know that there was an overlap on the near side. That pass just making it into touch, but the Italians showing some real promise in attack there.
Definitely. I think the only thing for Italy at the moment is that they need to look at retaining possession. So at the moment they get some good ball, but then they almost throw it away and create an error. What they need to really try and do is actually be patient and just keep the ball and build the phases. So use their forwards, truck it up a little bit, then get out to the backs and then gain ground. At the moment they're forcing it a little bit, which is causing the errors.
So just a momentary stoppage. Italy could have used that overlap, they would have had a real chance to put the pressure on. Jinxie Joe watching in the bath after a morning of rugby and player of the match. Not bad. Shelley Farmer, thanks for getting in touch. Vicky Fleetwood looking good. Come on, England. Sheena Harrington, England looking strong. Great to see. Loving Maggie Alfonsi's commentary. The fan club are in, Mags.
It's always great to have a fan club.
Do keep in touch with where you're watching. Rosie Dunn, come on, Abby Scott, of course, earning her second cap in the second row alongside skipper Taylor. She had been out for a year with an ACL injury. Played with the under-20s. Ball is out now, through McLean to Large. There is Alex Matthews coming forward on that familiar run. McLean looks to just miss one to Taylor. Good hands from her. Then Ruth Laybourne. She's got real pace when she gets going, Laybourne. She goes around the outside twice. She's got one more to beat. Good run from her. She had such a narrow channel to work in. Harriet Miller-Mills is there. Number 8 just crashes it forward an extra couple of metres. Blackburn to McLean. Step inside from McLean. The Italian defence had really come up there, so she didn't want to give her centres a hospital pass. Keats. Blackburn to Large. Abby Brown, little switch and loop around from Large. Still going, England getting closer. There's an advantage being played now. Can England get a try here? Rocky Clark, really good tackle. Trevisan felling prop Clark. It's there again for England. Abby Scott, well, we mentioned her a minute ago, trying to stretch out and get close to that line. Blackburn is scragged at the base. It seemed as if the referee's back was turned to that on that occasion. Doing her best to make sure that the Italians stay onside. Close quarters again. Italy have got to try and defend this, and they've managed to turn it over, and this could be dangerous for England because they've got, well, it looks like a 2-on-1 now. The chase is on over the top of England. They're just getting back there. Sydney Gregson having to do all that she could, and I think interfering possibly with the players as they came forward. The referee certainly got an arm up for a penalty. And what a turnover that was on the Italian line. I wasn't quite sure from our commentary position quite how that happens. Maggie Alfonsi.
Yeah, great work by Italy. You know, one thing we said at the start of the game is that, you know, Italy have a really good defence, and as you saw there, you know, they held out, you know, England after several, you know, phases and still managed to turn the ball over. I think, like we've said with Italy, we've got to, with England, they've also got to think about retaining possession. They can't force that ball. If they can maintain the possession, keep the ball, use their forwards to truck it up, they will get a try. But right now, almost they're forcing it a little bit.
Well, really good chance for Italy as they came forward there, piling on that pressure. It was almost French-like from those old games in the 80s and 90s. Serge Blanco, Sella striking from within, from under their own posts. Italy choosing to put boot to ball on that occasion. But it's with England here in the 22. Blackburn's clearance kick hasn't found touch. Furlan invited onto it. Good tackle from Large. Gets the ball away. Big hit from Alex Matthews on Magatti. But now it comes away. Rigoni. Calls from the coach down below us. Zangiolami. Ball is still in play. Italy doing well to hold on to it there. And there's a penalty coming. I think that's against Brown. Tap is taken quickly by Solari. Were England back 10. It's a big crash ball for the number 8. Captain Gaudino. They're very close. Are Italy going to be the team to get the first score in this one? Or the first try, rather. It's there for the Azzurri. It's going to ask some questions of the English defence. Some experienced heads in there for England. They're going to have to watch this one closely. It's there with Severin. She goes close. I think she's over. It's try time for Italy. And you have to hand it to the Italians. They worked that opportunity well. And I think it's number 4, Flavia Severin, who gets over for the try. Really great work as they put the pressure on the English line. And Maggie Alfonsi, England will have to come back.
Yeah, England will. I mean, England will be incredibly frustrated by that, considering they were, you know, only 5 metres out from scoring their own try. But, you know, you've got to hand it to Italy. They build the phases. They, you know, they literally keep the ball in. They work really hard to scrabble on the ball on the floor, and their big forwards, you know, pretty much trucked it up, and they did a good job as a result of that.
So, chance to add the extra 2 points will be given to Michaela Solari. Here's another look at the try.
Something Italy are really good for is just their ability to get low and pick and go. And here England, you know, really have to get low to ensure that they can really drive Italy away. And unfortunately, you know, number 4, she gets the ball, she's ready, she's obviously knows where she wants to try and score, and she gets low and drives over. And, you know, unfortunately, England just weren't ready for that.
Really good low body position, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And, you know, you got to hand it to Italy. They've got some strong forwards.
That's a great effort from Solari. England 3, Italy 7. They scored them to 0 in this match a year ago. A little bit of regrouping required. We've had some communications coming in on hashtag England Women Live. Watching on the big screen at Eccles RFC. Very good afternoon to all of you. Gracie Matthews supporting the ladies. Becca Homer, come on England, so close to a try. Well, it was close to a try at that end, but the Italians have come back and scored one of their own. England then with some work to do as McLean gets things restarted. Este nearly got it, but decided to let it go. Rigoni goes for the touch finder. Solari giving good chase, but England will have the line out. They've got to stick to the basics here, haven't they, Maggie? They've got to not panic, not try and take those quick taps too quickly, think about their field position and play the percentages. They've got plenty of time left in this one.
Definitely. I mean, you know, you've got to stick to the game plan and really build those phases. And like I said, just try and get over that game line. That's a priority, really, and keep that ball quick.
Blackburn onto McLean. McLean with the little short ball as Matthews comes thundering through once more. Penalty advantage, Italy going off their feet. McLean looks to try and get through the gap herself, and she's got support from Brown. That turned up the volume from the crowd. Blackburn going down the short side once more. Fleetwood. She carries on. Blackburn looking for support. Taylor, captain, leading on. Blackburn again. Oh, then it's just been juggled by Clark and it's gone forward. And it's those little errors that are creeping into England and just killing the momentum at crucial times. That was Taylor. Pass was almost just beyond the shoulder of Rocky Clark. Michelle Clark earning her 97th cap this afternoon. What a servant she has been. And provided she can stay fit and continue to contribute through this championship, she could be earning her 100th cap when England women take on France at Twickenham after the men's game at the end. What a moment that would be for Rochelle Clark. Well, there's plenty more work to do before then. First of all, to put pressure on the Italian scrum. Ball came squirting out immediately there, but it hadn't been hooked, hadn't gone in. So we'll have that one reset. Maggie, you work closely with Graham Smith, of course, the England women's forwards coach. Gary Street departing just before the tournament, but Graham Smith staying on throughout it. And he will be, well, relying on that pack of forwards to set the platform.
Yeah, definitely. I think, you know, something which Graham is definitely really keen on is the scrum, and I think...
Sorry, just 1 second. Hannah Gallagher being given the ball there from the quick tap. England with a chance. We'll just get Maggie's thoughts on Graham Smith in just a moment. Blackburn on to Clark. Crash ball. Is it going to be try time for the prop? She's just over and she's held up. It'll be a 5-metre scrum. So back to that forwards effort, Maggie.
Oh, just saying, yeah, in terms of the scrum, you know, for Graham Smith, that's his baby, that's his project. And, you know, I think for us, that's where our strength really is. And if we can really make sure we win our set pieces, allow the backs to really, you know, play and like I said, let the likes of Sydney Gregson and Kay Wilson really get into the game.
England replacements just off their seats, keeping warm. Just out of your shot. Being led around by Jeanette Shaw. We will be giving a bit more of a mention to Jeanette Shaw shortly, if you're unaware who she is. It's at the back with Miller Mills. Italians turning that scrum, so England feeling they had to use it. Still there with Miller Mills, but the movement is backwards first. Italian defensive line gets set. England go down the blind side. Blackburn looks to go the same way again. Taylor into Koulibaly. Try and get that ball back. It's there for Blackburn. Matthews keeping the ball alive. It's away with Clark. Severin, the try scorer, in there making the tackle. Bertoni as well. England coming wide. Taylor thought about the option. She's got Gaudino all over her there, trying to rip that ball away. But England have done well to keep it and recycle it. There may be a penalty advantage coming as well. McLean, large, they've got an opportunity, have they? No, Kate Wilson is there. Strong work from Mangati to stop them. They're that close, that's the try line. Keats with Clark. Clark picks it herself. She's got to try and get Zanjiralami off it. She does. Blackburn, low body position. England are over. It's Alex Matthews. England get the second try of the game, their first. And it'll put them ahead on the scoreboard before the conversion comes. A little bit more patient that time. And it paid off, Maggie.
Oh, fantastic work by England. Like you said, there was patience. Just slowly, you know, picking going from the breakdown and then really getting our players like Alex Matthews involved. As we said at the start, Alex Matthews is a really ferocious player. And when she really goes, she's very hard to stop. And, you know, great try.
Alex Matthews then earning her 15th cap. Very close relationship with sister Fran. Plays her rugby at Richmond. Had a great Women's Rugby World Cup. As we mentioned, quiet character, but very powerful on the pitch. First pick was from Keats, then Clark. Then Blackburn, it was just a really direct run from Matthews, and she knew where the try line was, squirmed her way under the tackle. Conversion attempt from McLean is successful. So England, they got an early 3-point lead through the penalty and they re-established that lead. McLean's second successful kick of the day. England 10, Italy 7. Speaking to England interim head coach Nicola Ponsford during the week, she was saying that she does believe it is going to be one of the most open Six Nations in a while. Different teams beating each other. Ireland beaten by France on Friday night. England beaten by Wales last weekend. Italy with a bright first half so far here. 7 points on the board. Ball is popped up for Keats. Now to the right, McLean. There's a high ball for Wilson to chase and Leybourne. They're not quite close enough though to the Italians, and Furlan won't have too much trouble claiming that under pressure. Places it back. Therefore Baratin, Rigoni. Cucchiella carries over the halfway line. Baratin once more, Rigoni puts the chip in over to the right-hand side. Zanjiralami, one of the most forward centres, chasing that. Kick from Gregson wasn't great, but it still remained on the England side. Not quite sure whether Gregson looked up and saw the options open to her there. But they're now trying to bring Gregson back into it down that left-hand side. She'll be more confident after that run, that's for sure. Blackburn, McLean wants to try and get a bit more distance down to the right-hand side with that one. It's bounced beautifully into the hands of Ruth Leybourne, though. But she's got to release it on the floor. She does so. It's there for England. McLean's going to play scrum half. Vicky Fleetwood. Fleet of foot there. Blackburn, oh, and it's penalty given away. Fleetwood pinged. And England have got to be careful in that area.
I think what's killing us at the moment is that breakdown area. So, like you said, we're taking the ball in, but what we need to make sure we do is have plays there, you know, quick and early, and really try and clear those Italian players out. Because fair play to Italy, they're really getting in there and they're getting their hands on the ball.
Well, they're certainly going in for those jackals. I've not seen that as much from an Italian team in the past, but they're wanting to compete at all of those breakdowns and get their hands in, and it's catching a few of the England players off guard, I think.
Definitely. I think the big talk at half-time will be about the breakdown and actually trying to get in there and really clear those players out. You know, the Italian forwards especially, they're really big and strong, and you need to get low and you need to really drive them out.
Italy line then. Bertoni played prop last week, hooking this week. Baratin, Rigoni. England's defensive line comes up. Zanjiralami. Sophia Stefan. Then Furlan, just over the 10-metre line. Koulibaly there, all penalty England. Well, we had one holding on penalty against England, but then they win one back against the Italians, and this will be a chance for McLean to put this down the left touchline. Well, the decision to go for the post there caught me out. England wanting to build their lead then from the boot. It's a decent range, decent way out for McLean to go for. Just a quick moment to check on the interactions on #EnglandWomenLive. Hi to Babs Turner, missing watching Maggie on the pitch, but good to hear you commentating. Georgia Bodison need to get it on the right for Leybourne. Well, we saw the ball pop up into her hands a couple of minutes ago. England needing to use their width, which they didn't last week, as we spoke of earlier, but this is a chance for McLean. Right foot didn't really get off the ground. Not McLean's greatest effort. You wonder whether they would have been better going down the touchline for that one, Maggie.
I think ideally they should have probably gone for the line-out, really, and then build it again, really. I think the key is just trying to get the ball into the forward's hands and trying to get into the 22. And what we don't want to do is force it.
So, second missed effort from McLean. Restart's coming down, need a bit of communication there. Kerry Large takes it, has Hannah Gallagher for support, also Alex Matthews, and Matthews gets away from the first tackle, running hard. Good tackle from Furlan, though, to bring her down. Blackburn, England have got numbers left if they can straighten and use it. Fleetwood, she does straighten and gets through the first tackle. Sets it up, Blackburn, McLean, Keats, she was involved in the build-up to that first try. Blackburn, McLean, they didn't get the chance for 3 points, but they're building a way to possibly get another 5 before the end of this first half. Blackburn, McLean, a little bit telegraphed there for Large, Koulibaly all over that one. Blackburn thinks about going herself, Severin there with the tackle. Are England able to get possession back there? Yes, they are. Driving straight into the Italian skipper, Gardino. It's still there for them. They go close quarters and they're over. England get their second try. It's Abby Scott, I think. Well, they'll be mightily delighted with that one. Again, patient, close quarters build-up, and the forwards enjoying themselves. Abby Scott, second cap and a try for her country.
Number 5, Abby Scott.
Chance for McLean to add the extras, but Maggie, that score coming before half-time will well be good for England's confidence and also just create a little bit more of an uphill struggle for Italy coming into the second half.
Definitely, that will settle the nerves now. I think going to half-time, I imagine the coach will have a lot to say to them, but this is just what they want, really, going into now what is going to be hopefully a good second half.
McLean then. Long wintry shadows fall on the pitch. Just pushed that past the right hand upright. She did that a couple of times in warm-up as we were watching on. And the referee, in fact, blows the whistle for half-time. So, a very interesting first half. We're getting to really see how this New England side are beginning to play with each other. A mix of youth and experience. We've seen the experience in the likes of Keats and Clark helping get that try. And it was Alex Matthews on that occasion that got over. But then we've got the new Abby Scott right there on hand to follow in exactly what Alex Matthews had done before her, over on the right-hand side and get over for the score. So we have a half-time score with the Italian try from Severin after McLean's early penalty, try from Matthews converted by McLean, and the try from Abby Scott. It's England 15, Italy 7. Maggie, your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, the first half's been relatively mixed, I think. You know, obviously Italy started off really well and got the first try in, and then obviously England brought it back. I think the priority really now for England going into second half is making sure that they can keep momentum. Obviously, when they've got the ball, they've got to really try and keep it a quick ball and keep it alive. I think for Italy, they're really good at slowing the ball down, so if we give the opportunity for them to get into the breakdown, then they will still turn the ball over. But for England, I think the priority now, momentum and retaining possession.
Well, those are the thoughts of Margaret Alfonsi alongside us in commentary for this afternoon. We'll just check in with how you guys are watching on the englandrugby.com feed and YouTube. We've got Sally Garner watching England women at home in Abu Dhabi and revising-ish. Well, I certainly know what it's like trying to do revision when you've got something like a live rugby match in the background. Emma Pryor, definitely more promising than last week, but lots to do still. She's in the Maggie fan club, apparently. You'll be pleased to hear, Max. Kate Newton, come on England, looking so dangerous with ball in hand. Watching in Gatwick on the iPad, wishing I was there. Well, we've got a decent crowd who are here. Good to hear from a couple of the England players as well. Amber Reid. A few messages in as well from Alex Matthews' score. The Eccles ladies loving that one. Ellen Lloyd, Emma Pryor, Francesca Walker, all of them very keen on the moment Matthews went over that gave England the lead in that first half. Let's just have a look at a couple of the highlights from that first half, and this was how it all started to build for Italy. Just kept the ball in field there, and then there was a penalty, and Italy, through Solari, opted to take it quickly and really put the pressure on. Big ball back inside for Gaudino. They nearly got over on that occasion. England defence really close. But Severin, Italian number 4. You'll see her come up in just a moment. It was very much this sort of play, Maggie, that England used in scoring their second try.
Yeah, I think if I'm honest, all the tries have all come from forwards, haven't they, really? So, yeah, I think that's going to be the big bit, really, trying to, I guess, stop their forwards from really getting over the gain line and getting that low pick and drive, because that's where the threat is.
Plenty of people also delighted with the Abby Scott try there just before the half-time break. Second cap and a try before her country. Hashtag amazing, hashtag proud from Robertson House. And Sophie Gruisdale, try, yes. Well, those are the sorts of messages we're getting through on hashtag England Women Live. My name's Nick Keith. You're very welcome to this afternoon's live feed of this Six Nations match between England and Italy. Just watching the Italian try that put our visitors ahead. There is Severin getting over from close quarters, and the arm was raised. But it wasn't too long before England had the chance to reply. Laura Keats crawling that extra little few inches onto Rocky Clark. Had to get Zangiolami off her back. And then Alex Matthews crashing through the challenges. Nothing Bertoni and Koulibaly could do to stop her there, the Italian front row. There's the reversed angle. Keats. And then Clark's little carry. And then Blackburn just managed to pop it up. And like a train, here comes Alex Matthews. She managed to, in fact, get that through in an almost nutmeg of Severin, who'd scored the try at the other end.
The thing is with Alex, though, she's so physical and so strong. And, you know, what I love about her, the fact that she's young, she has no fear whatsoever. And the same with Abby. You know, Abby's a fantastic athlete. You know, she's still really young. And I tell you, she's got so much promising talent ahead of her. I'm excited to see what she's going to do in the next few years.
So those are the highlights of the first half then. We will be back very, very soon with the second half. Do keep in touch with us on hashtag England Women Live. Half-time score in the Six Nations. England 15, Italy 7.
played so far themselves. What should we do?
Find out where you need to stop this, get on the website, englandrugby.com, go to your schools, get your teachers, PE teachers to get in playing, pick up a ball and just enjoy it, and go find somewhere and pick up a school that we all love, and one day you'll be on the pitch playing in an England shirt and you'll wear it about.
And hopefully see you back in the picture with Six Nations.
Yeah, hopefully just over coming in here at the moment, not too far off, maybe that's the back end of the Six Nations and around those guys, definitely consider.
So we hope to see you soon. It's been very happy down there. So ladies and gentlemen, quick thanks to England Vice Captain Sarah Hunter. And if you'd like some photos, she can do the Sterling job photos just down there in front of the whole wall, so feel free to get your selfies. The shop's also open, so if you'd like to look at some merchandise, the club shop here is still open in the southeast corner, and we've also got the England store merchandise shop that's just by there as well, so feel free to make your way down. And do make sure you stick around just after the final whistle, we'll have a couple of things going on, so when that final whistle goes, don't rush off, we'll have a couple of quick things to do before we send you on your way. A few other rugby scores you might be interested in at the moment. We've got the events there at the moment, so club rugby going on. It's London Welsh 12, Scottish House 47, Saracens 31, Bath 17, and the River Wasps 23, Queens 3. The website will be out. Welcome back for the second half. Our visitors, Italy.
Good day before the take. So, very warm welcome back to the second half of this Six Nations clash between England and Italy. We have our Italians back on the field, and here come the English, led by Tamara Taylor. They lead by 15 points to 7 at half-time. We're keeping in touch with all of you watching via hashtag England Women Live. Becky Woodgates, shout out to all the Bletchley ladies rugby team who were through to the semi-finals, the finals of the Junior Cup. Congratulations to them. Joanna Brown watching from the library. I can't even say it, procrastination ever. It's cold here, the mouth's not working. Mika Joy Evans, Maggie, why aren't you on the pitch? I think they need you. Well, I think the likes of Alex Matthews are coping pretty well.
Yeah, Alex is doing pretty well without me being on the pitch.
The restart then from Italy. We are back underway. England with the 8-point advantage. What words do you think will have been said at half-time? Well, maybe we'll come to that in just a second. England coming forward and thundering down there is Fleetwood. She's got really good pace in the loose. Just couldn't quite find Gregson, but What would you have been saying at half-time to England, Maggie?
At half-time, I would have said to the girls, be patient now, guys. Keep the ball and don't force it. And like we saw there just then, I think when the girls get the ball, when they get the ball in their hands, they really do play, they really do attack them. But what we can't do is just force the errors. So our basic errors is really what's letting us down a little bit. But I'm loving seeing Vicky Fleetwood at the moment. She's really attacking, the Italian defence, and that's what we want to see.
Italy line out through Bertoni. Ball is well won at the back. It's brought down for Baratin. Rigoni. Zangirolamani on to Severin, but it's not been held, and England might have a chance to run this one back. Knock-on advantage being played. McLean puts the high ball out. Kay Wilson thundering after this, along with Abby Brown. Furlan with the clearance. It's just gone straight up and down to McLean. Miller-Mills. Pass wasn't ideal, and I think it's been knocked on there by Gregson. Not quite had the sort of ball that she'd like to make the most use of, Sydney Gregson, so far in this match. And that's a really good offloading game from the Italians. Ball has gone into touch. There was just a boot there. But Gregson on her second cap. Not seen a lot of ball in space so far.
No, but I'm quite looking forward to seeing, Sydney get the ball in her hands, because I've played alongside her many times, and when she runs, she really does run. And what I love about her, she's almost very much like a Danielle Waterman-esque. She's got great feet and great hands.
McLean, Abby Brown, a bit more depth on this one, and there's Matthews once more. Penalty coming though. Penalty advantage being played, and the referee is going to bring them back, and I think Matthews may have been pinged. McLean wants to go quickly. Someone needs to tell her it's not her penalty. Adrian Holm, get in there. Keswick girl Abby Scott scoring for England. Chris Harper, if there's a gap, Abby Scott will find it. Well, she did, scoring England's second try. But England are breaking away. Chance for Leybourne. Now it's come back. Large. Fleetwood. Brown gets its way to Gregson. Little bit of space for her possibly on that occasion, and she's used her strength to stay in field there and done really well, but she's being held up by the Italians. England will want to try and get this ball to ground, and I don't think it's coming. That's a really good turnover by the visitors.
What we've got to be careful of is actually not trying to get into a bit of a wrestle match with the Italians. Like we said beforehand, their forwards are so big and strong. When we take the ball in, we've got to fight everything we possibly can just to get to the ground and actually present the ball. Unfortunately, Sydney's quite a slighter player and obviously got held up there.
Yes, she did. Really good footwork to stay in and not get dragged into touch, because two of the Italians were trying to push her in that direction. But no sooner have you mentioned having Waterman-esque feet than I can see on England Women Live. Danielle Waterman, very proud to see the Hartpury girls playing for England, know all the work they've put in. Hard to watch as we want to play. Well, we expect that, Nolly. Great to have you watching. I know that many of the England girls will be watching alongside the fans. Little dunk through the legs from skipper Gaudino. Rigoni. Oh, now then, has that been knocked forward by Gregson? I don't think she's terribly happy with the referee there. I think she's suggesting it came forward off the boot. It's going to be an Italian scrum, though. Just need a little bit more composure, England. Just not to panic too much when the ball is coming down their channels, and to use it wisely when they get that sort of turnover. It's just a sense of a little bit of panic, as if they're behind on the scoreboard at this sense, Maggie.
Yeah, there is. I think the girls, like you've said before, had not need to panic. Obviously, the score's in their advantage now, so all they need to do is keep that ball and obviously run it forward.
Ball comes out through Miller-Mills. Then Blackburn, McLean. Good straighten up on the inside from her. Taylor's there to play scrum half. Good feed from her as well. Through Large onto Fleetwood. Carries so well, Vicky Fleetwood. Blackburn thought about coming to the left. They had a bit of room, but it's with Matthews. She only knows one direction, and that's straight forwards. Blackburn. Miller-Mills. Blackburn again. McLean, little show inside, then comes out. There's Abby Scott, try scorer just before the break. Blackburn gets in, just gets that ball away in time. McLean, large. They go a little longer to Abby Brown. She gets through the gap and then, oh, just unable to keep it in field on that occasion. Sydney Gregson will be an Italian line-out. The changes are started to come. Maggie Alfonsi.
Yeah, great play by England there, but what I would be doing now if I was Bianca Blackburn is looking for that blindside option, because I think right now what we're starting to see from Italy is that some of the players are starting to get a little bit tired, so we're starting to see some of their forwards in the obviously the defensive line where I think we can actually capitalise and expose.
So just a momentary pause here. It will be an Italian put in at the line out. Just picking up on what you said, Maggie, we saw quite a few times in that first half as England were going in one direction, they also had a player running on an inside line so that they could maybe take advantage of someone in that inside position defensively, just, you know, perhaps losing a moment of concentration. Now, as the players tire, those inside balls are going to become more of an option, aren't they?
Definitely. What we call is the mismatch. So we want to look out for those forwards where we can really try and attack and hopefully just get behind them.
Ball is up. Well won by Italy. Rigoni. Zangiolami looking out. Silari joining the line out there. Then Furlan as well. Italy have done well down the back line to make a good 25 metres on that one. Miller Mills, though, really alert from the number 8, and she's forced a fantastic turnover. Ball is there. Blackburn. They think they might have some room out this way. Keats, Brown. Then getting up ahead of steam is Fleetwood. She's well brought down by Giordano. Blackburn, large, in playing first receiver a couple of times there, and Hannah Gallagher spotted the gap and she's gone. And Gallagher needs support, manages to pop it up for McLean over the 22. That's better from England. Ball is unplayable. It will be an England scrum. But Hannah Gallagher really showing the sort of running that you want to see from a back row player.
What Hannah does so well here is that she really does see the gap and she attacks it with all her force and all her pace. And what I love about here is she also is patient with the ball and she creates that really good offload to allow Katie McLean to get the ball. She
does. Zangiolami was the centre. She just hadn't covered across as Gallagher started to go. And that created the opportunity for England. Have to say hello to Aliena Archer, managed to stream Six Nations all the way from Malaysia. Great to have you watching. Oh, it's a small world, the online world, isn't it? England with this scrum, just inside the 22. Miller Mills picks, Blackburn in support, and it comes wide, and Leybourne wants to try and get around the outside. She's well brought down. But that's 5 metres. Blackburn, Abby Scott, is she going to get a second try to add to her first? Blackburn on to Gallagher. She's the one that got them this field position, but she's in an arm wrestle with it in there. But it's penalty, Italy offside. England will have a chance to go again. Blackburn. She's not going quickly. I think the decision here is England are going to scrum this one.
Great call by Rochelle Clark there to have a scrum. I think, you know, obviously we've got a really good, strong front pack, you know, and we need to just settle down and build the phases again. And I think if we can really obviously win this scrum, then the priority will be to make sure that we obviously get over that try line.
A sign of the wise heads leading the younger pack there, with Rocky Clark making that call, perhaps.
Oh, I think, you know, Rochelle Clark, as you've highlighted, is on her way to getting 100 caps, and she has so much experience, and you've really got to listen to players like that because they know what they're talking about.
Bex Blaine, watching Ruth Leybourne play against Italy, sat on her sofa cheering on the England girls with the family. Well, I bet the noise went up when she had the ball there on the right-hand side. A few people I know watching a couple of games at once, and changes starting to be made. And well, England have the option to bring on Amy Cockayne. They're going down for this scrum, but just down in front of us we can see Cockayne in position, maybe shortly coming on. But England with a real attacking opportunity here. We'll come on to Cockayne shortly. Scrum just comes up. Referee's going to have another little word with them. Alhambra Nievas, her assistants Sarah Cox and Nikki O'Donnell. Blackburn waits to get this one in. Earning just her second cap, Blackburn, and she's looked really assured from the 9 position, but this is Miller-Mills who's going to have to try and keep this one in. Penalty, England. I think Blackburn wants to think about the quick tap. She's a real live wire, but I think she needs to just consider the other options before she goes herself each time. England just making sure the messaging's right. You can see McLean there having a little chat with her scrum half.
I think the priority here for England is to keep the ball in that scrum. What they're going to want to try and do is really drive over that next 5 metres and ensure that Harriet can really get the opportunity to score a try. And then if they don't do it, they're not going to go out to the backs.
Yes, indeed. Here comes the shove once more from England. Italy have done well so far in a few of the scrums to get the scrums turning, but there's not as much of a turn that way, although the scrum does go sideways before it goes forwards. Barotin is surely in an offside position there. She gets herself back out of the way. Miller-Mills goes herself. Just brought down short. Penalty again. Now then, are we going to see a card here? Is the referee going to think about getting herself under the posts if these offences keep coming? We do have a penalty, and I think it's Rigoni. So Italy will go down to 14. What's the call going to be from England this time? McLean is looking to go to the touchline. Putting the pressure on from set piece. Well, they've done it at scrum time, but now they're going to try and do it from the line out.
Quite surprised by that decision, really. I thought they might have actually gone for a scrum again, just because obviously they were really being quite dominant there. But obviously I imagine they're going to catch and drive here and really try and get over that try line.
Well, they would have had the extra players out in the wider field as well, with fly half Rigoni in the bin, but cries of heave come from the crowd now as England keep it in the forwards. It's there with Laura Keats at the back. She peels off on her own. She's got Taylor for company. First up tackle is made by replacement Arrighetti. I think the ball is on the Italian side though. Bounces back in field. Well, England will be disappointed with that.
Yeah, I hate to say, but that was an opportunity missed by England there. I think they really should have gone for the scrum again. They were so dominant in the scrum. I think going out to the line-out just gave a bit more added pressure. But I think obviously now, we've got opportunity. We've got our line-out now, and I think Vicky's going to want to keep it safe and ensure that player gets it and just keeps it simple so they can get it out to the backs.
So changes being made for England then. Coming onto the field, Victoria Cornborough replacing Rochelle Clark. And Sydney Gregson has been replaced by number 23, Sarah McKenna. McKenna, a good servant to the Sevens programme. Decent in 15s as well, of course. Very smooth runner. And England have possession from Blackburn through McLean. This could be a chance for McKenna to get onto the ball early doors. She does. Little dummy left. Good fresh feet from her. Gets the pass away to Large. Kerry Large up to the 5-metre line. Blackburn. Keats, Scott. Blackburn's there again as England come round the corner to that right side. McLean, Matthews wants to barge her way through herself. She won't be told to sit down, Alex Matthews, although she might be held up of all things. She can't get it down there, and Italy might have forced the turnover. It's really, really good work from the visitors. Incredible defence And they have forced that turnover. Of course, the laws of rugby state, you bring a ball in to that form of contact. If the opposition can hold you up without you allowing the ball to ground, well, then they can force the turnover at the scrum. They will win that scrum as the ball is unplayable. And that's exactly what Italy did there.
Yeah, I mean, great initial play by England. I mean, great to see Sarah McKenna on the field. She really did attack, you know, obviously their defensive line. But unfortunately, you know, England took the ball in and typical Italian style, they held them up and were very strong in that. But our priority now is obviously turning to the scrum and making sure England can win that ball back.
So there's just another little look at that replay. This is the ball coming wide to the right. McLean onto Matthews. Koulibaly, the first one in there. And then it was really strong work from Elisa Giordano. Italian flanker, the first one really to put the strength on Matthews and keep her up. No mean feat. Italy with a defensive scrum. England will do all they can in this position, knowing what territory they've got to try and disrupt this, try and force Italy backwards. Oh, free kick Italy. England have shoved early, and Italy are going to come away with it quickly. Gardino with it. They've not got a lot of room out on that right side, so the kick comes in, and charging back there is McKenna. Slotting into the full-back role. Wilson moved to the left wing, where Gregson has departed. Really good tackle from McKenna. Followed up her own kick. Passes away from Magatti. Baratin got dragged into that ruck. England, I think, trying to get turnover, and Hannah Gallagher has forced the penalty. Great work from the open side.
Great to see Hannah Gallagher get over there. Typical seven style, getting a good wide base and getting her hands right on that ball, not letting go.
Saracen's teammate, of course.
Yeah, she's a good teammate, but also a fantastic player.
So Italy put that one down to just outside the 22. Want to use this as another attacking platform. We haven't had a score yet this second half. Quarter of an hour gone. Vicky Fleetwood gets that one to the back. Great jump from skipper Taylor. It's away from Blackburn through McLean. Brown, nearly a gap opening up for Brown there. Got it outside to McKenna, then Laybourne. Just over the 22. Brown helps secure it. Gets it away to Miller-Mills. Miller-Mills has shown some great feet so far this afternoon. Blackburn, McLean, Abby Scott. Big hit from Batoni. Severin getting in there to try and cause problems as well, but England still have it. Fleetwood. Koulibaly making the tackle. Brings the hooker down. Blackburn back in field for Keats. Matthews there is with her. Blackburn looks right. We saw an option possibly on the short side there. Maggie Alfonsi discussing that a few moments ago, but England continue to go to the right. Blackburn, McLean, missed pass for Brown. They might have room on the outside, but Brown couldn't get that pass away. But England do make an extra couple of yards, but the knock-on has been signalled by the referee, and again another period of solid endeavour from England has just come away with a small error. It'll be tiring them out.
It really is. I mean, we definitely have a game on our hands here. Italy are doing incredibly well in terms of their defence, and England, showing some incredibly good promising. But what we need to look at is, maximising opportunities. I think what we've got to try and focus on now is just trying to get the ball out wide. We're taking it back into their forwards, which is fine to set it up. But what we need to not do is fall into that trap of just going back inside. We need to go out wide and try and let the likes of Ruth Laybourne free.
Italy with another defensive scrum then. Last one of these, England were free kicked for engaging in the scrum too early, pushing too early. And in fact, I think on this occasion, England have been given the free kick, so they're going to get the chance to go. Pass isn't great from Blackburn in the circumstances, but it finds Large, and she's happy to take it forward, truck it up and set the platform. Gallagher, close support from Cornborough. Taylor helping the clear out. They've got room left if they can make it work. Out for McKenna. She almost got in the way of Wilson, and in a rush to make the numbers work, it's just gone into touch. Sarah Brooke, Flick and I watching the ladies from Dubai. Great to see an old teammate, Miller Mills, in the team. England Rugby making some great breaks in the second half. That's a message from Samantha White. Do keep in touch with us. Hashtag England Women Live. Italy with the defensive line. Decent jump from Trevisan. Will the exit kick come from Baratin? No. She looks back. Oh, and it's not a decent clearance, and it's just fallen into the arms of an England forward. Didn't quite catch the number down there, but Blackburn's going to get a chance to release the back line, and now Large. It's surely got to be a try for England. Searing run on the inside line from McKenna. Has she managed to turn and get that ball over the line? England come right again. Blackburn, McLean, Large. I think it's Kerry Large who's over for the try. England getting try number 3. It almost looked like they might have butchered that opportunity on the first attack, didn't they, Maggie?
Yeah, almost did, but you know, great work by England. I was really impressed by the way they, literally kept the ball and then gave a good pass, and then obviously we scored out in the wide channel. But what we've got to focus on now is really now keeping our heads and staying calm and ensuring that we can bring it back in the next bit of play.
Well, Kerry Large involved there on the pass out to Abby Brown. Brown looked back inside for the run from McKenna, but Laybourne screaming for it out wide. But it came again. Blackburn went to the right. McLean, Large, little duck inside, and she managed to force her way over. So England's third try, opening up a 13-point lead. There's a tricky kick over on the right-hand side for Katie McLean. Strikes it. The crowd on the far side think it looks good, and the flags are raised. It's a great conversion from McLean. Her third successful kick of the day, and it takes England up to 22 points. Italy on 7. And with roughly an hour played, that's the position that England will want to, or will certainly be feeling a little bit more relaxed about. They've got some points on the board second half. It's a long way back for Italy now. So more changes being made for both sides, such as the time on the clock. A few of the front row players have been replaced. Onto the field, Justine Lucas for Laura Keats. I know Awa Koulibaly has left the field as well. Oh, and a good bust through the tackle from Abby Brown, getting a chance to open up her legs there. Striding away, Blackburn. Large. There is Justine Lucas. Blackburn to Large again. Puts that kick up. It's gone wider than it's gone forwards, but it's actually fallen, fortunately, straight into the arms of Laybourne. But ball was dislodged from Italy as the ball went into touch. Change being made for the Italians. Veronica Schiavon comes on to earn her 72nd cap. Hugely experienced. There's number 18, Justine Lucas. So Rigoni is the player who comes off to make way for Schiavon. Just got a momentary pause in this one. Shouts out to the England Deaf Women's Rugby team and any of their friends and family who are also watching this one. Do keep in touch with us, hashtag England Women Live. Ball in from Blackburn. Out from Miller Mills, onto McLean. Large little dummy run from Brown and McKenna. She's got Wilson outside her. Wilson with a little bit more room to play with. Just pauses infield, then sets it up. McKenna plays scrum half. Throws it almost into the face of Blackburn, but she does well. One of the Italians is down on the near side. McKenna goes for the ball. And I think in from the side is the call from the referee. And it will be a penalty to England. McLean's going to stick this one into the corner as they go for their 4th try. Silari, the player, who I think has taken a bit of a knock on the shoulder, just getting some of the magic freeze spray.
I've been very impressed to see Sarah McKenna come on the field and making a real big difference. I think she adds a huge lot of value, especially working alongside Kate McLean. I think she just does bring the ball into play.
So more changes being made for Italy. Veronese onto the field as England take this line out. In from Vicky Fleetwood, although I think that ball's, yes, just gone forward. And we'll have a scrum to Italy. And you can see what it means to the visitors. They're delighted with that turnover. Error from England. But just looking down at the halfway line, I can see that stripped off is Amy Cockayne. Moved to New Zealand, aged 11, Cockayne, and we can see now Fleetwood is coming off. Cockayne played senior New Zealand Premiership at just the age of 14. England got a call from her school, went and had a chat with them. You can also see Hannah Fields coming on, incidentally. She's played some sevens with the likes of Carla Hohipa. Fantastic name in terms of the Black Ferns legacy. New Zealand quite keen for her to be a backup hooker to their captain, Farmasili. But she wanted to play for England. She's been brought over to England and she runs on to take her first cap on for Vicky Fleetwood. Fleetwood had a great game so far, but what will Cockayne be able to offer? Italy do well under the pressure of the England line to get their clearance in. But in this cycle towards Rugby World Cup 2017, in just 2.5 years' time, these sorts of games are where the likes of Amy Cockayne will learn their bread and butter.
Definitely, we want to see Amy involved in games like this because she can really show what she can do.
Ball is one off the top from Taylor. McLean, large. McKenna running another nice line. She's done that a few times since she's come onto the field. Blackburn. McLean. Taylor in there, putting in another great shift. Second game as skipper. Cornborough. Promising prop, she does carry well. Katie McLean, Kerry Large, Abby Brown steps inside. Replacement Camerano. It's there for Blackburn. There is Cockayne. Couple of Italians trying to stop her getting forward there, but she does well on her own to bring that ball to ground. McLean onto Abby Scott. England fanning out to the right once more. McLean, Brown, quick hands from McKenna, but too quick. Laybourne was a little flatter and not able to be behind her and take that. You can see another couple of changes perhaps being made by Italy. Pantarotto and Ruzza waiting to come on. There is Valentina Ruzza, plays her rugby for Padova. In Padua, north of Italy, just near Venice. That's where a fair amount of these players play their rugby. Treviso and Monza, another two clubs that make up the majority.
I think what's letting England down a little bit now is just the final pass, really. So if we can make sure we capitalise on our basic areas, I think we'll definitely improve here.
Italy line out into the sunshine. Ball is loose on the floor. Picked up by Maria Magatti. One of those players from Monza I was speaking about. Decent boot away from Schiavone. Ball sits up for Laybourne. A little stutter as she comes forward. Does well to take the ball into contact. She's not that big physically, but she is quick. But that was a penalty. She held on there as Italy tried to wrestle the ball away. They were on their feet, perfectly legal. And England will concede the penalty. England's players, incidentally, in terms of club representation, 5 from Snowdon Park Sharks, 5 from Worcester, 1 each Thurrock and Waterloo, a couple from Bristol, 3 from Maggie's Club Saracens, 4 from Richmond, 2 from Lichfield. That makes up the match day 23. Lucy Pearce watching online, saying, "Come on, girls." There's the jump from the Italian second row, Trevisan, and it's away through Schiavone. Decent carry up the middle from Arrighetti, and they come wide. Schiavone, Solari, Furlan. Well, she didn't manage to get that infield neatly enough, and it could be turnover ball for England. They've got the advantage. Little dart down the short side from Blackburn. Maybe could see her spotting those opportunities a little bit more. Abby Scott wrestled to the ground almost by her own player in Hannah Field. It's away from Blackburn. McLean, Hannah Gallagher, Cocaine in support. England starting to get this moving forwards. Choke tackle is on from Italy. They've used that so effectively this afternoon, haven't they, Maggie?
Yeah, unfortunately for England, we've kind of played into their hands, really. You know, like what we can't do is run into their big, strong forwards. We have to try and work around them and try and attack more their backs. But like there, you know, unfortunately, Amy Cocaine, strong player, but got held up.
I think the point is, from England's point of view, if they're going to send those players in, there have to be more of them to get them all moving forwards. But 1 or 2 into a clutch of Italian forwards, they're just going to get held up.
Yeah, I think obviously, ideally, if you do have to take the ball in, then you need to commit numbers. The more numbers you've got there, the more you can really drive and almost turn it into a bit of a maul. But you have to keep that ball alive.
Those are the thoughts of Maggie Alfonsi. My name's Nick Heath. You're very welcome watching this streaming match on englandrugby.com and on YouTube. Keep in touch with us on hashtag #EnglandWomenLive. Good shove from England against the head, and it's popped out, and it's there for Alex Matthews. Blackburn, she was under a lot of pressure there, but she got a really good ball away to Katie McLean. It's just come out, squirting out behind Blackburn. She's there to get it that time. Cornborough, big handoff from her. Sorry, Justine Lucas on that occasion. Severin trying to make a nuisance of herself around the ruck. A little bit untidy. McLean. There's Cocaine. Large. Abby Brown. Got a little bit more room here. Coming down the right, Leybourne. Wilson is inside of it. Leybourne just goes to ground. Blackburn, Abby Scott ships the ball on for Cornborough. It is that time. Penalty advantage being played to England. Tamara Taylor, Gallagher, pass out for Wilson, uses the fen, gets inside one. Gallagher might get in for try number 4. She can't quite get it over the line. England will have to come again. It's close quarter stuff. Is there a wrestle over the line there? There is. It is the try. It was almost in slow motion, really, but England have managed to get it over. Try number 4, and it's try for Justine Lucas. Well, I say that, the referee has signalled. I thought she'd signalled for the try. It's actually been signalled as an offside. My apologies. Looked to all intents and purposes like the score. Is that the score that time? I think it is. Katie McLean, possibly the one over. She was certainly supported. Katie McLean getting down for try number 4. Into the last 10 minutes of the game. A little bit of confusion there, Maggie, but England getting the score in the end.
Yeah, slight bit of confusion, but I love the way they worked the ball before they got to that try line. I mean, Hannah Gallagher making a nice little dummy, then making a really good pass to allow Kay Wilson to really make a really good break. But obviously, you know, Kate McLean being on the ball, making a quick tap and scoring a very good try.
Well, she's going to get the chance to add the extras and convert her own score. This was her quick tap. Wrestling to get the ball down there. Kay Wilson was alert enough to go in there and help. And you can see the resignation on the face of Sarah Barrettin. McLean then strikes that one, just hooked it slightly. So England with 27 points on the board, 20-point lead over the Italians on 7. Crowd will have enjoyed what they've seen. 2 tries in the first half, 2 tries in the second half. Matthews, Scott, Large and McLean all on the score sheet as Schiavon gets the Italians restarted. Ball is down, well fielded by Lucas. Blackburn just looking wide, but again it's a turnover to Italy. I think we may have another change being made for England. Megan Goddard just getting ready to make her appearance. Barrettin just has a little word with the referee. Scrum's just going to come up.
Double replacement for England. Coming off number 9, Bianca Blackburn.
So Bianca Blackburn is going to be replaced by Fiona Davidson, and Katie McLean is the one who's going to make way for Megan Goddard. And you have to say, Katie McLean has put in a decent shift and been welcomed back to get that back line going, but considering it was just a second cap for Bianca Blackburn, a really promising showing from her.
Yeah, really great to see, Bianca Blackburn on there, really, and she really performed incredibly well today, and I think her and Kate McCann have a really good partnership.
Time for the Italians to show a bit more from their half-back partnership. Well, in fact, it's from the skipper Gaudino on to scrum half Barrettin, but it's been knocked on, and England fan out to the left now. Taylor, good running. Hannah Field fending away the attractions of the Italian tacklers. Abby Scott, lovely show and go, takes an extra couple of yards herself. Davidson in at scrum half, Large, then it's out through Goddard. Abby Brown still inside England's half, just up to the 10-metre line. Into the final few minutes before the end of the match. Another carry from Lucas. She's made herself busy since she's come on. Is the ball coming back there? Well, it's penalty to England. And it's tap and go time for Davidson. Makes a good 10 metres. Then another quick pick from Hannah Field. Davidson gets there. Ball to the right for Taylor, using the short side that time. Abby Brown involved as well. Now they get a bit of go forward. The Italians have got it though. But Davidson did well. Laybourne still making valuable yards. Large in at first receiver since McLean's off, and Hannah Gallagher comes straight through the gap, and Gallagher's not going to be caught before she gets there. Gets the ball down for the try. England scoring number 5, and what a line from flanker Hannah Gallagher.
Hannah was absolutely amazing there. As you saw, she literally took a really cracking line, which ran through obviously the Italian defence, and she knows where the try line is, and she ran right through.
Score for England, number 7.
Scything right through Hannah Gallagher. You have to give respect to Manuela Furlan. I said she's not going to be stopped. Furlan did all she could to stop her.
Yeah, that was not an easy try for Hannah. Hannah still had to work hard even when she got over the line, but great work by Italy, still trying to defend that. But, Hannah, obviously a strong athlete, really got over the line there.
That'll please them. It's another one for the forwards, though. 3 to the forwards, 2 to the backs so far this afternoon. There's a smile on Maggie Alfonsi's face if you can't hear it. Goddard with the conversion attempt. No problem with that one. England 34, Italy 7.
Successful conversion kick for England from number 22, Megan Goddard. And it makes the score England 34.
Skivan
Italy 7.
gets ready to get the Azzurri back underway. It's well won. It's a good restart. England will have to be savvy defensively here. It's up for Pantarotto. Really good tackle. Alex Matthews bringing the big second row down there. Skivan on to Magatti, but the English defence is aggressive in pushing Italy backwards, and they win themselves a penalty from the Italians holding on. Fiona Davidson going digging for it, and she taps it quickly. England fancy a few more. Taylor looking at her options as she goes for the gaps. Davidson, Matthews has got an option on her right shoulder, but she decides to just take it in and commit the Italian defenders. Davidson to the right, Large. England coming forward in waves again here. Large out to the right through McKenna onto Abby Brown. She's held up again though. Eventually this one does come to ground. England will still have it. Davidson, Large, wanting to try and get through herself. Almost a little half break as she fended away her opposite number. Gallagher, little show. Gallagher wanting to get through again. She's done that brilliantly. And Justine Lucas thundering into the final line of defence for Italy. McKenna's over on the near side, screaming for the ball. England still with it. Abby Scott straightens. They have got plentiful numbers on the left if they can go through the hands, and here they come. Large, Gallagher goes out wide for Wilson. Shrugs off the first tackle. Getting close. Are they over? Try time. Kay Wilson uses her strength to get over. It's a 6th try for England. And Mangi Alfonsi, you have to say, that is job done.
Oh, job done, but fantastic way to end the game. I mean, I was really impressed also by how the ball went through forwards' hands, backs' hands, you know, and then obviously Kay Wilson scored a try in the end. I was very impressed though with Hannah's big miss pass, but what a way to end the game.
Well, it's been a solid second half performance from England. They've done what was required. They've had a little bit more composure, but they've also been able to take advantage perhaps of some tiring bodies in the Italian side. Touchline conversion effort for Goddard. Can she add a final 2 points? Oh, it's close, but it's just gone past the right-hand upright. She won't be able to add the extras, and our referee, Alhambra Nieves, blows the final whistle. The England players throw their arms around each other. For many of them, it's the first taste of victory in an England shirt. The experienced heads will be delighted to be getting back to winning ways following the loss to Wales a week ago, but they can put that behind them now. They've scored 6 tries to just the 1 from Italy. I have to tell you, Graham Smith has just come past Maggie Alfonsi and said that number 7's a bit good, isn't she, Maggie?
Yeah, no pressure there, but you know what? Hannah Gallagher is fantastic. She did had a great game overall, and obviously put away Kay Wilson's score final try at the end.
2 tries in the first half from England, then the 1 from Italy. Severin with the score from them, the first try of the match. Then Alex Matthews and Abby Scott getting over before the break for 15-7. And then in the second half, Kerry Large, Katie McLean, Hannah Gallagher and Kay Wilson all getting over the line. We do have a special announcement being made by England. And just to clue you into it, if it's coming across, we have a very special mention being made of Jeanette Shaw. She has been a major part of this England side for years. If you want something done in the England side, she will do it, organising everything from your laundry being done, what time you're getting up and what you want for tea.
She'll be the biggest loss for us as players still here, not because of what she does, but because of the person that she is. She's somebody that looks out for everybody, whether you've got 97 caps, or whether you've got 2, whether you're a head coach, or whether you're a physio or a doctor. Without her, we wouldn't be able to do the things that we've achieved over her 10 years. And I think Tam's got something to give her, but I think she deserves 3 cheers for Jan Man. But Ed! Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your support this afternoon. Let's hear it one more time for the victorious England side. England next take on Ireland on the 27th of February at Ashbourne. And of course, it's going to be that big finale over there in Twickenham against France. So enjoy the rest of the Six Nations. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you very soon.
Italy to the sword. That was Casey McLean going over from the quick tap. Kay Wilson right in with her. This was Hannah Gallagher's brilliant run as Italy started to tire. Furlan did her best to spoil it, but she got over. Gallagher topping off a great performance in the shirt. And Kay Wilson wanted to add one more on the final whistle. She managed to. And that took England up to 39 points. We can see Nicola Ponsford in the red beanie just on the far side having some final words with the team. But Maggie, she'll be pleased with what she's seen this afternoon.
I think she'll be very pleased. You know, I think the girls had a first 20 minutes was a bit challenging. You know, obviously with Italy going over first, but I think the girls really grouped together and pulled back, and they ended the game the way they wanted to. The next big focus now is obviously going to the next game, which is going to be a little bit more challenging. Ireland in Ireland.
Well, we'll have some post-match reaction for you in just a second from the coaches. We hope you've been enjoying the coverage here on EnglandRugby.com and YouTube of this live stream of this England Women's Six Nations match. Keep in touch with us on hashtag #EnglandWomenLive. We'll have some post-match reaction for you in just a moment.
Well, Nicola Ponsford, congratulations. Just a result that England would have wanted.
Definitely. Really, really pleased with that result and pleased with the performance.
Who was it that stood out for you?
I think everybody in their own way played a really important part in that performance. I think Katie was really important in terms of giving us that solidity and that confidence to play. I thought Bianca Blackburn at 9 had an excellent game and played really, really well. But the forwards gave us a great platform, and Abby Scott getting her first try, second cap, that's always a good performance. And then, to be honest, all the bench came on and all added something to the game as well.
15-7 at half-time. The Italians gave you a real run for their money, didn't they?
They did, and I think, all credit to the Italians, they defended incredibly well all game. When we dominated possession, we had huge parts of the game in terms of territory all game. But actually, what happened was, we couldn't get over the line. They were there defending, their scramble defence was excellent. And they, put us under pressure, and we had to really sort of dig deep, make sure that we played with patience in order to get over the line.
What does this do for England ahead of going to Ireland next week, which we know is going to be, in a couple of weeks, we know is going to be a pretty difficult task?
I think the first thing we asked the girls for this week was a real step up in performance. They know it definitely wasn't perfect this week, but it gives us the building blocks and the confidence, I think, to be able to step up again next week. And that's really important. We're definitely building. We know it's not going to be perfect, but we are doing things in the right way. We're moving things forward in the way we want to move things forward. So I think it's definitely confidence that it'll give us.
Finally, before we get clattered by the board behind you as the wind gets up, a last word on a touching tribute to Jeanette Shaw after her many years of service with England.
She's been fantastic. She's been the stalwart behind the England programme for the last 10 years, really. She's been a mum to lots of them. She's been a shoulder to cry on. She's been there to support when everybody needed it. So, yeah, it will be a real loss to us, but we wish her all the best.
Well done today.
Thank you.
Well, Tamara Taylor, you wanted the 50-50 ratio after the loss to Wales last week. You got it.
I did, yeah. Really pleased just with the performance. Obviously a win is fantastic, but we had quite a few things that we needed to put right after last week, and that was the pleasing part, that we kind of righted some of those wrongs. Definitely still quite a few bits to work on, quite a few errors in the 22, but it's a platform, and now we're building again.
England's forwards had a real battle on their hands with the Italians up front, but you guys managed to weather the storm, and that's where the tries started to come from.
Yeah, I think we always knew it was going to be a sort of a second half kind of when we were going to really push through. The Italians have improved year on year, and their back's always been big and strong and heavy, and they didn't disappoint us today. They were big and strong and heavy. We moved them around as much as we could, and it was, like you said, in the second half that we managed to create a little bit more space, and that's when the tries came.
Yes, criticism maybe last week of getting a little bit too narrow against Wales, but certainly the likes of, Kay Wilson finishing things off there, a sign that England are now beginning to find that ball a little bit wider.
Yeah, massively important that we recognise that from last week and put it into practice this week, that we did try and hold the corner of the defence and get it out. So it's great. It's just so pleasing, you know, as a player and as a captain that we put right some of those wrongs, and it is this building process and this new team, and I've said it 1,000 times, but it really is, and each game we've just got to make sure we improve again and again.
Ireland in a couple of weeks, that's going to be another big test.
Massive. You know, we went to them 2 years ago with a similar sort of newish squad. We're missing a few players, and they were outstanding, to be fair. So this is going to be another really tough test, and it's great that Italy gave us such a hard game today, because that's going to stand us in good stead going forwards.
Many congratulations on your first win as captain.
Yay, thanks.
So there we are, those are the final thoughts of Tamara Taylor, England captain, and before her Nicola Ponsford, the interim head coach. It's a win for England, their first in this year's tournament, their second match of course against Italy by scoring 6 tries. They will go away to Dublin in a fortnight where they will hope to build on this victory with their blend of youth and experience. Thanks very much for joining us and for getting in touch on #EnglandWomenLive. My thanks of course as well to Maggie Alfonsi in the COCOM seat. We'll be back here with a live stream here very soon, but in the meantime from all of us, thanks very much for watching and a very good afternoon.